All right, it's me again. Remember I said I would send you more of these recordings that showed how I optimized articles for search. These aren't the little articles you're doing on Monday and Friday. These are the big articles that we're putting in that should really drive some traffic. Okay, so let's just get straight to it. Here we go. Phil sent me this article. Where is it? There it is. Phil Penny. There's the article. Let's take, and this is Florida statutes. This is for my process server. So I'm going to take a look at it. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go over to 360 process server, and I'm going to create a new post. I'm going to use the default editor, and I'm just going to put the content of the post there. Now, I happen to know, because I read it, that this part here is the title. So we get rid of that. Okay. So now I've got a title and I've got the stuff that he wrote. It put in some garbage here, right? So it thought there were images. There weren't images. That happened when it pasted, and that happened because we're pasting Word content. And it has some special characters. So I'm just going to quickly jump into this, and I'm going to remove that block because it's meaningless. And this one here, we're going to remove that block because it's meaningless. And now we look a little easier. Okay. Next thing, we want process service on the state of Florida, because this is all about a process server. So our keyword phrase is going to be process server. What if they'll figure out that I don't want to talk to them? My phone's ringing like crazy. There's my focus key phrase. All right, now my SEO is orange. It's an unhappy face. Okay, why is it an unhappy face? It says I've got no outbound links, I've got no internal links, I've got no meta description, I have no I have no image with alt attributes, and my title width is wider than it should be. What does all of that mean? Okay, well, let's start with the easy one. I don't have a featured image yet. Every blog should have a featured image. So I made one, okay, and we're going to upload it. I'm going to come over here and set my featured image. There's my featured image, how to serve process on the state. And when you start doing this, I will give you the images already made. And the images has an alt text on it, serving process on state government. So I've got alt text, I've got a featured image. So there we go. Ha-ha! Step number 1, image taken care of. Outbound links. All right, so here's my Florida statute. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to search for the Florida statute. And I'm going to provide a link to it. Okay, so I'm not even really paying attention. All I'm doing is saying, that's the Florida statutes. I'm going to copy that link. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that a link. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a link. And that link is going to go to the actual Florida law. But I have a rule, and this is a StudioHOF rule. This is not a worldwide rule. This is how we do business. Any links that go away from the site have to open in a new tab. Okay, because I don't want to invite people to leave my website and forget where they were and never come back. So I'm going to open this in a new tab. Now, if it is a tab going from one page to another page inside of the site, well, that can be internal. So let's give us an internal link, and let's just link to the home page. And the home page will say serve process. Okay, we'll link to 360 process server.net. process server. server.net. Oh, dang it. .com. Okay, so now I have an internal link. I have an external link. Thanks to the featured image, I now have an image with alt text. The next thing it says is, this is too big. Okay, so when I look at the Google results, okay, so if I was to go and search and get this article in Google, this is what it would say, and this Florida looks cheesy. Okay, well, where did the Florida come from? It came because automatically, okay, we have title, page separator, and site title. Well, so I'm going to get rid of the separator and the site title by hitting the backspace and deleting them. And now you'll see that my process service on the state of the state. How's that? Okay. So now I'll see that this is a little bit short still. So we'll do 360 legal. Process servers. Okay. So we'll the problem was that I had the state of the state, which was stupid. Okay. Now this description here, see if I was to go and search in Google. Okay, you see that this here, well, that's an ad. Let's go to a, okay, see this? They did a bad job, ... All right, and see here? They did a bad job, ... They're not paying any attention. Now, ServeNow happens to be his top competitor, so we want to do better than them. Now here, this is good. Look at this. This is the right size, and that is the right size. And the idea here, okay, so the basics, Sanya, are Google doesn't care what's in these, all right? Google, this is intended for people, all right? We're not motivating the Google search algorithm. We are motivating the people that are looking at the Google search results, because the algorithm knows that people know better than mathematics. Okay, so mathematics can't tell whether people think it's good. And the old world of search said, you've got to have this keyword density and this and that and the other thing, and it was very rigid. The new world of search is, do people find this interesting compared to what they were searching for? So here what I would see is 48.0301 statutes and content view, statute online. I don't find that interesting. That doesn't motivate me to click. Service of process, Florida Department of State, doesn't motivate me to, it's not what I searched for. Okay, so I searched for process service on the state of Florida. So all of these fail, but I wanted you to see that this is bad. It's too short. Okay, now if we look at ours is exactly long enough. All the space we had in which to sell our idea. Okay, so we're selling somebody saying, we want you to click on this because we have the answer to your question. How do they know we have the answer to their question? Well, because we put it in a big bold title, Process Service on the State of Florida. And then we want some name recognition, so we put their name in there. Now what we have is this section here, and this section is defined by this. Okay, this is called the meta description. This meta description is exactly the right size. It's boring, but it's exactly the right size. Now what this meta description by one of their top competitors is horrible because it doesn't say anything and it doesn't lead me anywhere, and it just gives me a bunch of gobbledygook, and I've got no reason to click this. All right, so our whole goal is, these are our competitors. We want to beat them. All right, and how are we going to beat them? So let's go take a look at the article Okay? And it's, can you serve... So let's go grab this, because that's the meat and potatoes. That's what this is. And we'll see it's too long. All right? So how about you can, and now we're going to have to work some English in. Absolutely. Absolutely. Serve process on the state of Florida, comma, space, but as might be expected, might be some extra wording, and that but needs a lower B, but there is, we can make that theirs. A different set of rules that are involved, that apply to serving the state as opposed to individuals. All right, so now what happens is somebody says, can I sue the state of Florida? And this is the results they get. Okay, so let's say somebody says, all right, I'm mad at the state. They have a pothole in the highway and I broke my car. I'm going to sue the state. I'm joking, right? So what happens is they go, can I sue the state of Florida? All right, and I take a look here and I see, how can you sue the government? Law office of blah. It goes over. However, they start an explanation with however. Learn more about if you says dot 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 dot. Okay. Now this is kind of interesting. In the state of Florida, if you are injured as a result of someone else's blah 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 blah, back in the this is garbage. All right. Now what we write is you can absolutely serve process on the state of Florida, but there's a different set of rules that apply to serving the state as opposed to individuals. That answered my question. Yes, I can sue the state, but there's an extra set of rules. Maybe I better click on it to go see what those set of rules are. Now, here comes Google. Google is looking for a person's reaction. If I don't click on a link when Google presents it to me, Google assumes that that link wasn't good enough. And so it gives it a little less authority. And every time somebody doesn't click on it, Google says, well, why am I presenting this link to people if people aren't clicking on it? It must not be appropriate. I'm going to stop showing this link. Okay, which means you've just dropped off the first page of search. You've dropped off the first page of search because your SEO title and your meta description did not motivate the person that was searching to click and get an answer. Aha! So, while there isn't a direct impact on the SEO title and meta description on search optimization, there is an indirect correlation because the people that read it respond to it, and Google monitors their response to determine how valuable this content is to the end user. Wasn't that fun? Okay, so I know this is kind of long. So now why are we, let's do this. Let's go back here and let's save it. And let's see what has updated in Y. Oh, look at that. We are now green for search optimization, which means I don't have any outbound links. And, well, you know what? This tool's sometimes wrong. We know we put an outbound link in, and we know it because it's right here. And, oh, it didn't keep. Okay, so let's grab that. There it is. And because this goes outside, we're going to open up in a new window. I'm going to pause and fix this. I just did something silly. I'm pausing. Okay, I fixed my mistake. I paused. Nobody saw it, right? Nothing up my sleeve, short sleeve shirts, okay? All right, so here we go. Now we have that external link, and our SEO says, I've got the key phrase in the meta description. The meta description has been specified but not have a key phrase. Our key phrase was process service, and this says serve process. You know what? I'm green. That's good enough. If we had the advanced version of Yoast SEO, it would let us put in synonyms, which which I could put in service serve process instead of process server, and we wouldn't get that error. But basically, I got a green light here from Mr. Yoast saying your article looks good. Go ahead and publish it. Ta-da! And all of a sudden, we now have an article that started out as being poor with SEO. We did a very few things, and now it's good with SEO. And I hope that that little trip helped you. And I'm going to publish this so that you can take a look at it. Thanks a lot. Oh, hey, anybody else that happens to hear this? You might find it interesting, which I'm happy about. However, it is intended to be an internal discussion. I am training my employees on how to effectively write for search optimization. This is not our normal spit and polish type presentation, and I would ask you not to judge us and our creative ability on the fact that this is kind of a bumbling conversation that happens between me and an employee, and not necessarily intended for you, our prospective future customer. I got lots of other great videos for you that are much more succinct. We'll talk to you later. Thank you very much, and have a great day, everybody.